Digicel TV, home of Rugby League. Dial *515# to subscribe. The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello, this is TVWAN News. Thanks for joining us. In this edition, late election funds stall progress, candidates petition Hoskins counting, and slow pitch Comp Cup finals on. The counting process for Kariku Open is still on hold as officials are not satisfied with the training that occurred on Thursday. Counting Officer Margaret Ani shared that they have been waiting since Monday to clarify a few matters. Ani said accommodation and allowances are the main issues. She added that most of the officials have been sleeping outside the barracks gates, in their vehicles or under the tents, while the privileged get to stay at their relatives' houses in the city. Ani said they ran through their training on Thursday, but it was rushed due to time factor and some officials were dissatisfied and requested for another training. Kariku Open electorate counting process will take place at Murray Barracks. Provincial Election Manager for Eastern Highlands Stephen Cowper is dissatisfied with the late release of election funds. He said the late release of funds results in the late conduct of elections in the province.
Being one of the top provinces in the Highlands region to conduct elections faster, Eastern Highlands is conducting the 2022 National General Election at a snail pace because of funding. Provincial Election Manager Stephen Cowper said if election funding had been released early, they could have been ahead of schedule.
We should have given the Money Development Commission 2 years earlier to get the roll done properly. We should have everybody. Issues around the Commodore should not have been an issue. So that was a big letdown. Polling is completed and counting is now about to start now. So whatever funds that was made available to us, Freddie, we did use that to make sure our polling teams went out, allowances were paid.
Mr. Cowper also appealed to the Ombudsman Commission to see the agency in conducting the elections and relax some of the requirements on the provincial funds. He said with the OC freezing the provincial administration funds, provincial governments cannot do much.
This is my only appeal to the Chief Ombudsman Commissioner to look into this matter and, if possible, they should send one of their commissioners to each of the provinces where the funds are made available. So if they need to give approval or kind of motion, they need to do it on the spot. So we have those funds, we pay off, and then we should not have bills going into after the elections.
Frida Kana, TVWAN News.
Provincial Election Manager for Eastern Highlands Province, Stephen Cowper, has encouraged women candidates to fight for what is right and transparent. He commended all 9 women candidates for putting up their hand to contest.
9 women candidates are running for office in Eastern Highlands Province. There are 380 men who are contesting the districts and provincial seats as well.
Stood up for the women folks. This was an opportunity for the women folks to vote. We set a program, we set the election activity plan for women to have their own polling booth. We have the common roll updated for the women to have their own electoral roll. So there is a...
Mr. Cowper emphasized that if the women folk did not vote well in this election, They should not talk about women contesting the elections in the future.
The elections in the future. No, this was one election that we have the electoral roll for the women separated. We have the polling booth separate for women. This is about women taking ownership. Now, if out of these 9 candidates, the women candidates, if they don't poll properly, if they did not get enough ballot votes to push them up and to prove, then I think our encouragement to women votes that did not go well with them. And I would be very, very upset if our 9 women did not score well against the men.
Mr. Kaupa highly commended them for challenging the status quo and having more courage to run for office in 2022 National General Election. Frida Kana, TVWAN News.
Gulf Election Manager and Provincial Returning Officer Poevara Torre stated that Kerema Urban LLG is currently doing polling whilst other polling teams are nearing completion as per their schedule. They are looking forward to starting counting. He said the only LLGs expected to complete polling by today were Kotidanga, Kaintiba, and East and West Kikori LLGs. Torres said despite logistical delays, teams are on the ground and are prepared to complete the polling on time process, especially for those 4 LLGs, and return before the week's end. Meanwhile, the PRO stated that the 3 counting areas have been decided, however, will be confirmed at a later date. Counting is expected to commence over the weekend once ballot boxes of all 10 LLGs return to Kerema. Nakanai Open candidates led by Felix Kua and Daka Wagai presented a petition to Provincial Returning Officer Emily Kelton, calling for a recount of the Hoskins LLJ ballot boxes today, 15th July 2022. Provincial Returning Officer Emily Kelton has taken note of their concerns. A petition to do a recount on Hoskins ballots for Nakanai Open has been served to the Provincial Returning Officer. Nakanai Open candidates led by Felix Kua and Daka Wagai said they want certain matters cleared regarding counting.
We should do a recount on Nakanai to ensure that all those ballot papers are genuine, correct, figures are correct, balanced with regional and open, and that the correct amount of ballot papers are put in. If there are any discrepancies, then we should ensure that if there are any extras around the place, where would those extras come from?
Mr. Kua said a scrutineer has the right to check to make sure that ballot papers and boxes are handled well. He made mention of an incident that occurred on Thursday where ballots were mishandled and thus resulting in the petition. He added the incident occurred at the storage container and was considered as tampering with ballot documents. Provincial Returning Officer Emily Kelton received the petition with the assurance that quality checks would be conducted and confirmed, and that the Assistant Returning Officer concerned has stepped aside.
Preference, they're going to be done today. After the quality check, I am 100% satisfied that it's the right ballot paper for the right candidate, it's the right ballot paper for the informal, and then we play with him now. With him now, we go inside the one box for the candidate. So constantly long recount, this is just what we're going to do.
PRO Kelton said she would action this request in the form of quality checks, and this will be done for every individual candidate. TV1 News continues after the break. Stay tuned.
With BSP Internet Banking, you can enjoy your banking at home, at work, or wherever you are. BSP Personal Internet Banking allows you to view your accounts and transactions, transfer money, bill pay, schedule future payments, or access your bank statements. Visit your nearest BSP branch to register now. BSP Internet Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSP, our bank, our people.
OpenNet. something?
And Sunshine Nutri-Strong. And Nupla Blue Pla packet Sunshine Milk.
Ah, Sunshine got new blue packet milk.
Yes, and good pla walk him coffee, tea, na bake him scone too. Sunshine Nutri-Strong. And scale or make him Milo or milk belong all picking long drink too.
Nice, yeah.
And now Sunshine Nutri-Strong. And we got vitamins and minerals too.
Sunshine Nutri-Strong, the new nutritious milk from Sunshine.
How would you describe your mother?
My mom is beautiful.
She is strong like Superwoman.
I love my mom because she always takes care of me.
My mom, she's so patient and loving. I feel she's always around.
Caring. She works so hard and always wants the best for me.
She's soft like her love.
My mom is everything, and I don't know what I'd do without her.
Softland, fragrance of a mother's love.
He loves the Maroons. He loves the Blues. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Lager, Bungim Yumi.
Here we go, folks. To a mine, Jaden Sewer. Sorry, Cowboys, we ruined the record. But Jaden Sewer scores a try for the Dragons. For Manu, then on the outside, so Highlands on his way. Kids over again.
Welcome back. 3 new COVID-19 antigen rapid test kits had been approved for testing in the country. National Pandemic Controller David Manning has approved for these additional test kits for COVID-19 screening in the country. There are now 4 approved test kits in the country.
The 3 new rapid test kits approved for use in Papua New Guinea are Synclin Antigen RDT, Lookspot Antigen RDT, and Flowflex Antigen RDT for SARS-CoV-2 screening and diagnosis. There are now 4 approved test kits in the country. Deputy Pandemic Controller Dr. Downey Esoram said quality diagnosis of disease is crucial as it ensures appropriate clinical intervention undertaken by the Central Public Health Laboratory in 2021 to ensure that process is carried out. These new rapid antigen testing kits are in addition to the Biopen Antigen RDT kits that was initially approved by NCC for COVID-19 testing in the country in 2020. Synclin is manufactured by Hangzhou Synclin Medical for qualitative detection of COVID-19 antigen in human saliva. Lookspot Antigen RDT test is done via nasal swabs from suspected COVID-19 patients in the first 8 days of the symptom onset. It delivers results in 5 to 8 minutes. Meanwhile, Flowflex Antigen Rapid Test is manufactured by Acon Biotech Hangzhou Co. Limited and detects the presence of or absence of the antigens in nasal and nasopharyngeal specimens. Frida Kana, TVWAN News.
More than 60 East Sepik students attending Divine Word University in Medang will now benefit from the school fee assistance initiative by the East Sepik Provincial Government. DWU East Sepik Students Association Club President Troy Mabos is grateful as some of the students were on the verge of being deregistered with the institution. Mr. Mabos confirmed that 241,500 kina had been deposited into the school account. He went on to thank the provincial government for ensuring the funds were put into the school account and thank parents and those who had been supporting each student financially to continue their education at DWU. According to the breakup, 3,500 kina will go to pay school fees for each student. Bank South Pacific brand ambassador and former Kumul David Mead is currently in Port Moresby on behalf of BSP and its work in the community. Mead met with BSP customers and staff. He has been the ambassador for 6 years. He added he enjoyed his journey in his rugby league career, but it was time to close that chapter.
BSP in the process of giving out some grants to the foundations that they support, and also saying hello to all BSP staff and customers in the very few days that we've got together. So it is always my honour to come back to PNG and to see the smiling faces from the moment we land at the airport, seeing the security guards smile. And Australia and New Zealand level, we need to focus on a lot more on our junior programs, and that's something that I want to pursue, short term and long term. So I'll be a lot more focused in that area, but if a coaching role does come up, I'll have to weigh up the options.
The National Cultural Commission launched its new corporate uniform and logo, replacing the last one that was introduced in 2001. Staff have been urged to respect the uniform in the public space so as not to tarnish the credibility of the organization. The National Cultural Commission has a new look and branding, replacing the old one introduced 21 years ago. The launching took place at the National Parliament State Function Room with staff, management and board present. NCC Executive Director Stephen Kilanda said people can now identify NCC staff, which is important for any public service organization.
We should take pride of the job that we are doing in serving our country, because we are important people in this country to drive this country forward. So we should set some examples. We should set some precedents for our young people who are coming up.
Staff were encouraged to respect the uniform, which includes not wearing the uniform while attending social events that could potentially tarnish the agency's credibility.
We want to lead this country by setting some precedents, some good examples, and maintain professionalism. So corporate uniform is very important.
He added that the corporate uniform is very important as it maintains professionalism. Janet Sios, a director on the NCC board, congratulated the commission, saying the new look will pave way forward in marketing their image and brand.
You know, we have to work together in this space of the culture and the arts. And a lot, the day we launched in 2016, we had artists, we had music, we had fashion, we had many stakeholders taking part. And we were very passionate to make sure we progress those industries. And I'm so thankful NCC has taken all of us in those areas and put us under the umbrella of NCC.
This is TVWAN News. Sports is next after the break.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSP Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase easy paid units wherever you are. Visit your BSP branch today to register now for BSP Mobile Banking. BSP Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSP, our bank, our people.
A quick favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks Noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook. And with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in PNG and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks Noodles, tastier but you like it more.
Hardware House is more than just a store. It is where quality meets affordability, where culture is proudly celebrated. Spanning 9 provinces, We pride ourselves in offering top-notch customer support and services. We're more than just a store. We're more than a brand. We are Hardware House.
Made only from the highest quality beef, oxen palm, is PNG's pride and the world's favorite.
Grant goes from dummy half. Just give it to Harry. Hughes, he sees some space, finds it eventually. He beats everybody. Stop him if you can.
Hey, Jane, how's baby?
I feel so sick.
Everybody's to Alota and bring us the money.
Enough money to buy jungle juice, but not enough for his pregnant wife.
He's a good man.
Hey, I've been thinking, the new aid post, that's good stuff, man.
Ruth, I just wanted to say sorry.
It Takes a Village, 9 p.m. on TVWAN.
Welcome. Lamana Dockers face their toughest test yet this season when they meet the unbeaten competition pace setters Maritime West Eagles in the main match of the Port Moresby AFL Round 10 fixture at the Colts Oval this Saturday. The game is expected to go down to the wire and spectators can rest assured they'll get their money's worth.
Lamana Dockers, currently running second on the points table, would obviously get the backing from other teams to inflict Maritime West Eagles' first loss of the season. Dockers coach Samuel Ila said his boys have had a good training session this week to polish up on their skills and fitness level, and quietly confident will give Eagles a good run for their money this Saturday. This should be a perfect baptism of fire for emerging Mosquitoes youngsters Jason Logie, Thaddeus Williket and Brandon Bola, to challenge the star-studded Eagles outfit in Greg Curry, Pascal Bailey, Kelki Kaugla, Rex Perigua and Danny Bikase. Eagles coach John Kaloga Timothy said he is wary of the challenge but confident his boys will prevail. The game is expected to go down to the wire and spectators can be rest assured they'll get their money's worth. In the earlier match, Gerhu Magpies will be looking to atone for their mediocre performance last week with a better performance against the Cats, and Concept Koboni should prevail over Gordon Kokofas to maintain third spot on the points ladder. Salome Vincent, TV1 Sports.
The Bicini Softball Diamonds will be buzzing this Saturday as the two best teams in this year's Port Moresby Slow Pitch Corporate Softball Competition, Cardinal Lions and Trukai Industries, go head-to-head in the main Cup Grand Final decider. Both teams finished first and second in their respective pools and went through elimination playoff last week undefeated to qualify for the big dance.
Last weekend, Cardinal Lions and Trukai Industries knocked off the two best teams in their respective pools to book the big decider this Saturday. The Cup playoff will be tightly contested and Lions have the edge over Trukai, having defeated them in the normal pool games. However, the grand final is a different story. Trukai knocked off the best team all year in Pool A in Swire Shipping Vikings last weekend to make the Cup final. This is expected to be a thriller. Meanwhile, in the plate final, we'll see Ness Fun 2 versus NAC Jets. Both teams finished third in their respective pools. NAC are seasoned campaigners who have always featured in grand finals over the years. This season, they joined late and so finished third in Pool A. Ness Fun 2 knocked off the fourth-place Team Avis Cruisers, but faced a big challenge from NAC, who look to be favourites for this one. The bowl playoff will feature Water PNG Ops and PNG Power Sparkies. In the earlier game, Santos Blue Kumuls will battle it out with Ness Fun 1 for the shield. Salome Vincent, TV1 Sports.
Papua New Guinea is making great progress at the Oceania qualifiers in Suva, Fiji. Their latest success was a 3-1 win over Vanuatu on Thursday afternoon.
Good news for the national women's campaign for the Oceania qualifiers. Papua New Guinea beat Vanuatu 3-1 in their opening game of the OFC Women's Nations Cup in Fiji on Thursday afternoon. In the Group B match, PNG Prime, the pre-tournament favourites, worked extra hard to beat a spirited Vanuatu side at the HFC Bank Stadium in Suva, Fiji. With PNG seen as the highest-ranked nation in the tournament and Vanuatu the lowest, it was expected to be a one-sided affair, but that wasn't the case. Vanuatu threatened to cause PNG problems with a high-pressing tactic, keeping the PNG women's defence constantly on their toes. PNG eventually came home with the win. PNG's 3 goals came from Mari Kaipu, Ramona Padio and Charlie Yanding. Vanuatu's only goal was through Vanessa Keletia. Padio was awarded Player of the Match. PNG will look to cement its place in the quarterfinals when they take on Tahiti this Sunday, July 17. Salome Vincent, TV1 Sports.
The SPPNG Hunters will play host to the Central Queensland Capras in round 15 of the QRL Host Plus Cup. The match gets underway this Sunday, 17th July at Bycroft Oval, Runaway Bay.
The SPPNG Hunters will ride a wave of confidence into this weekend's contest against the Central Queensland Capras in round 15 of the QRL Host Plus Cup. The Hunters produced their best performance of the season last week against the winner Manly Seagulls to win 36-22. There were some notable changes to the Hunters squad who won that game, namely a new halves pairing of Kingstimer Pariah and Judah Rimbu, and skipper Kevin Apos move from edge forward to lock. But the most significant difference between the Hunters of round 14 and the 2022 season as a whole was their intent and aggression on both sides of the ball. The stats from that game make for interesting read. The Seagulls spent more time in possession, took more runs and missed less tackles than the Hunters, yet both sides were evenly matched in yardage. The confidence and momentum of the Hunters created with their kicking game flowed into how they used the ball in attack. In true PNG fashion, the Hunters front-loaded their defensive efforts to dominate Seagulls' ball carriers around the ruck. This was backed up in attack as the Hunters constantly bent the line to earn post-contact meters and generate ruck speed for their team. The challenge now is to back it up against another top 4 side this week in the CQ Capras. The Capras' recent winning record is a far cry from their 4-0 start to the season, which included a 26-16 win over the Hunters in round 2 at Brown Park. Given the improvements the Hunters have shown since that game and their form in round 14, the PNG side will be taking every chance of turning the tables and exacting revenge on the Capras this weekend at Bycroft Oval. Salome Vincent, TV1 Sports.
And that ends the news tonight. Remember to apply the following simple measures to prevent transmission of the coronavirus. Regularly wash your hands with soap and water, cough or sneeze into your elbow, and exercise social distancing. If you are feeling sick, please stay at home. You can also call the COVID-19 hotline number for more information or assistance. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.